If you think AI is going to take your job, unfortunately, you might be right, but medical device sales is the highest income career path that cannot be replaced by AI, and here's why 2026 is the best time to break in. 2026 is going to be one of the most disruptive years in the job market, and that's exactly why medical device sales is one of the best paths forward. So in this video, we're going to be talking about three things. We're going to break down the current state of the economy and job market in the United States in 2026. We're going to discuss other factors that make medical device sales super accessible in 2026 and why it's the best time to break in as a beginner. And finally, we're going to break through the three things that you think are holding you back from starting in this industry, whether it be work experience, school experience, or just mindset. And this is coming from somebody who broke in at 23 years old and was making multi-six figures by age 24 with nothing but retail experience. So you're going to want to stick around for that part. But we've got a lot to cover, guys. Let's dive in. If you're new here, welcome back to Break Into Medical Device Sales, the podcast and YouTube channel dedicated to helping you land your first six-figure job in medical device sales, regardless of your experience level. So first, let's talk about the state of the economy and job market in 2026. So there's growing concerns about AI's impact on traditional jobs. And for good reason, guys. Automation may alter or even completely eliminate many day-to-day tasks, especially entry-level white-collar jobs. As a matter of fact, Goldman Sachs forecasted that over 300 million jobs worldwide could be lost or degraded due to AI. And not only that, employers are rethinking hiring practices and skill requirements based on this growing AI demand. PwC reports that skills for AI-exposed jobs are changing 66% faster than all other jobs, which is great news if you're somebody that focuses on AI-focused work. But for the average person, they are not. So this is important, guys, because more and more you are being scrutinized depending on your level of AI familiarity and expertise. Things like banking, administrative roles, and routine office work are increasingly vulnerable to automation. This is concerning because most average 9-to-5 desk-related jobs have a very administrative-focused component. That makes you vulnerable to either being replaced or taking a pay cut and automating some of what you do on a day-to-day basis. Now, here's the opportunity for you. Not only are certain careers being automated, but so are some industries. And fortunately for you, some careers are not only AI-proof, but also the sectors that they're in. Healthcare being one of them. Healthcare always was and forever will be growing because healthcare cannot be automated away. People will always need doctors, patients will always need better outcomes, and hospitals will always need new technology. And that's where the biggest opportunity lies because doctors, hospitals, healthcare workers, they cannot possibly keep up with all of the latest and greatest technology. They will always need people to sell, train, and educate them on how to use these tools and then support those tools in a surgical setting. So check this out. Even big consulting and industry outlooks like Deloitte's Healthcare and Life Sciences forecasts emphasize that healthcare technology continue to integrate AI for efficiency, but not to replace human relationship skills. So to bring this full circle, guys, this is massive because this embodies exactly what medical device sales is and completely goes against all of the jobs and industries that are impacted by AI. You are not only developing a skill set that cannot be automated like human relationships, but you are also operating in an industry that is completely recession-proof and will only adopt AI for the non-human elements. For example, let's break down what medical device sales actually is. You sell high-impact technology to hospitals, clinics, physicians. You build relationships with people, both doctors, hospitals, and decision makers in the sales process. You help build solutions, you help navigate the sales process. It's not based on code or any sort of repetitive tasks. It's based on communication and problem solving. So just to summarize it, guys, this is based purely on human-centered work, not on automation, not on any sort of technical related thing. The human element is essential here, and it's not optional. Now compare this to the day-to-day, right? You're out in the field, you're visiting hospitals, you're visiting clinics, you're in the operating room, you're working with physicians, you're educating people on new technology, and you're also incorporating sales elements. This is negotiation. This is influencing purchasing decisions. You're solving real-world problems. And not only are all these traits super valuable to you as you grow your career down the line, and it's just something that can't be replaced by any sort of automation piece. So guess what happens when all these layoffs are going to start happening, guys? More people are going to try to break into this industry. So your time is now. Now, let's talk about why 2026 is the perfect time to break into medical device sales as a beginner. So first, employers are valuing soft skills now more than they ever have before. Communication, negotiation, relationship-based management, these are super core to successful medical device sales, but it's also extremely hard to automate these things. These skills are becoming less and less apparent among people that are breaking into the workforce. More people are on their phones, more people are digitally centered. There's so much less of this interpersonal component. More people, just to put it plainly, more people are afraid to do this type of work. So if you're not, that sets you apart. Second, healthcare and medtech are still growing at an exponential rate, guys. Healthcare spending in 2025 was over $5 trillion. It's projected to be over $8 trillion in the next 10 years per year. Now, on a more practical note, guys, it is getting so hard for medical device companies to source people that demonstrate solid work ethic, that demonstrate professionalism, enthusiasm, and grit. Let me give you an example. I was just on the phone with a regional vice president president that I used to work for, somebody that mentored me when I was in the medical device sales industry. And he just joined a multi-billion-dollar company as a regional manager. And I'm talking to him and I'm like, hey man, how's it going? And he's telling me, oh, I love my job. I love the company that I work for. But he says, Vince, honestly, I don't love my region. I don't love the reps that work under me. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he says, man, these guys sit on their butts. They never leave their houses. They don't work hard and they make $500,000 a year. They're not going anywhere and I can't fire them. And that cracks me up because like not only is the income potential so good for people that don't demonstrate a really vigorous work ethic, but do you know how valuable that makes you if you are interviewing with companies like this and you demonstrate that like you're not willing to work hard, you're willing to get nitty gritty, you're willing to get up each day and hit pavement. And that's one of the reasons that allowed me to break in at such a young age is because I demonstrated that throughout the interview process and throughout all my networking. I told everyone, I made it very abundantly clear that I am willing to be extremely coachable. I'm willing to be enthusiastic. I'm willing to be hungry and I will work harder than the person next to me 10 out of 10 times. And it's like, dude, why are you going to let these people that have been in the industry for 5 to 10 years that don't have the motivation to be a top performer anymore, that are sitting on their butt collecting $500,000 a year, like what separates those people from you? And this is super common. I can't tell you how many people I've spoken with in this industry over the last few years that either are or working alongside people that do not bust their butt in this industry and that are just collecting a paycheck. They're making a lot of money without leaving their house. Now, guys, I'm telling you, I do not want that to be the reason that you pursue medical device sales. I will smack you if I find out that you join this industry and you end up just being a desk potato at your house. But my point is if you can demonstrate that you are willing to go above and beyond and you are willing to work hard and demonstrate a solid work ethic, that will make you extremely appealing. When I got promoted to a senior rep about 10 months in as a 24-year-old, I'll never forget the phone call that I got from my manager. And he said, Vince, I can teach anyone in this industry. I can teach anyone the product. I can teach anyone how to sell. I cannot teach anyone how to get up at 5 a.m. every single day, go out there, take a beating, go home and repeat it day in and day out. So if you embody that, you guys, in this interview process and in this networking process, that will allow you to look so appealing as you can. So now let's move on to our final topic here, which are the things that you think are holding you back. Maybe you think you don't have sales experience. Maybe you think it's super hard to break into. Maybe you think because you don't have a bachelor's degree, your chances are zero, or maybe you just don't think that highly of yourself. And I hear you. So first, let's talk about sales experience. I recently met up with a very tenured territory manager and I recorded the interview and it will be released on this channel and this podcast. So stay tuned for the actual conversation. But we talked about this. We talked about the level of sales experience needed to break into this industry. Now, I've said time and time again, you do not need experience to break into this industry. I broke in with nothing but retail experience. But I'm sitting across from this tenured guy who's been in the industry for 20, 25 years, who's making over $500,000 per year. And he told me flat out, Vince, you don't need any sales experience to break into this industry. And he told me this funny story about somebody that broke in the industry with nothing but experience from working at Disneyland as Tigger. He was the Tigger mascot at Disneyland and he broke into med device 15 years ago and he's been in it ever since. So guys, you do not need sales experience. You do need to demonstrate grit. You do need to show that you're humble and coachable, and you do need to be an expert in this interview process. And the next point on here is it hard to break into? It's absolutely hard to break into. People know about this industry. They know about the ability to make multi-six figures. They know about the ability to have the most autonomous schedule and create your own schedules every single day. They know about all the perks and benefits of medical device sales. It's one of the best places to be. So it's competitive. And breaking into this industry does require having good relationships and navigating yourself through this interview process very, very well. I've known a lot of people that think that they can do it on their own and it's still 1-2 years down the line and they're still chasing people down for interviews. So I've got some more content on this channel on how to actually structure the process of breaking in. And in a nutshell, it really just boils down to this. It boils down to optimizing your personal brand, making sure that your resume and LinkedIn demonstrate sales-focused language, which I have plenty of videos about, and then networking the right way, because this is not about sending out a ton of applications. It's about networking and building really quality relationships with people that are in the industry that will pull you into the interview process on their behalf. I have videos on that here as well, but I understand it's difficult to not know what to say, how to tailor your messaging to each person, because there should be a very targeted approach to that process. The reality is this: is it hard to break in? Yes. Is it doable? It's 100% achievable. You just need to have a very structured strategy. My advice to you is to be extremely consistent. This is not a 1-week effort. This is a 2 to 3 month effort of consistent outreach every single day. Now, for those that are concerned about like, hey man, I don't have a bachelor's, right? Or maybe I have a bachelor's, but it's in a degree that's totally unrelated to business. And guys, the opportunity is still here for you as well. My degree was in communications. I worked alongside people that have degrees in archaeology, art, psychology, absolutely nothing to do with business or sales. And that's the beauty of this. They don't care about what degree you have. They only care about who you are as a person, how you demonstrate your skills, and can you work hard? Can you sell? Can you be reliable? Can you be coachable? Can you be somebody that gets up at 5 a.m. every day and hits the pavement, baby? So if you can demonstrate that, that's your ticket. Now, if you don't have a bachelor's, I've said this before, you can still break into medical device sales, which is beautiful because, like, I'll be honest, guys, like, if you don't have a bachelor's, this is really the only industry that you can break into and the only career path that you can break into that will pay you multi six figures that isn't like some really annoying, sleazy type of selling, like used car sales or being a realtor. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that those people are sleazy. I'm just saying that they're just not desirable sales roles. You're in environments that people don't like to be in. Plus, in any of those other roles, your career potential is very limited. Medical device sales, this is super translatable. You guys will have job security for life. If you don't have a bachelor's, how you want to target your approach is to focus on smaller medical device companies. So these typically produce less than $1 billion per year, where a bachelor's is not a requirement, or a distributorship medical device company. So this is a smaller contracted medical device company, typically run by a former med rep that turned entrepreneur. It's actually an easier a faster interview process. They're just harder to find. But finally, guys, medical device sales is not just a job. Like, this is a lifestyle upgrade. It's a chance to be paid what you're worth and do work that actually matters and impacts the world. You're paid on performance. You're not just hoping for a raise once every 2 years. 2026 is not the year that you wait for opportunity anymore, guys. It's the year that you go and claim it. So go research medical device companies, tailor your resume towards sales language, start networking on LinkedIn, local career meetups, speak with reps and managers. Or if you want, I've got a video that breaks down the 3 steps to break in as a beginner in a medical device sales. So if you want, check that out. But get out of your head. I was a college graduate who was not hanging around the right people. I didn't think I amounted to anything. My professional image wasn't there. I had big diamond studs. I may or may not have been smoking pot all the time. And I just didn't have a high level of confidence. All I had was retail experience, guys. So I'm telling you, if I could break in this industry, you can. And really, the mindset shift that allowed me to do this, it wasn't that I brainwashed myself to be confident. It wasn't that I got obsessive with money. It wasn't any of this crap. I didn't journal, meditate, none of that. All my mindset shifted towards was humility, enthusiasm, and persistence. It's, I know I'm not where I want to be yet. It's, I am willing to do whatever I have to do. Please show me the way. And people will pick up on that in your conversations with them. So guys, I hope you found this valuable. If this resonated with you, again, here's that video I mentioned on the 3 steps towards breaking into med device sales as a beginner with no experience and landing your first $100,000 plus job. I post 2 videos per week, so subscribe to this channel if you want more content just like this. Now, finally, if you already know you want to break into med device sales and you're looking for guidance in breaking in, that's what Med Device Sales Academy is all about. We work one-on-one with people to help them land their first 6-figure medical device sales role with no prior experience in as little as 90 days. We professionally guide them through every single step of the process, personal brand, networking, crushing every single component of the very lengthy interview process. And the reason we do this is because we're actively building a recruiting company and building these solid relationships with medical device companies. So by helping you become a desirable candidate, I could just place you at one of the companies I have relationships with. So it's a win-win. If you're interested in getting help breaking into med device sales, just apply to Med Device Sales Academy using the link in the description. Otherwise, if you just want some free content, this podcast, this YouTube channel is the best place to be. Go get it, guys. Make 2026 your year.